The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tokucast Reviews, episode number 176. Marcus and Jacob here to discuss Inazuman.
Yep. Unfortunately, we're not talking about Inazuman F because that is not fully subbed.
Nope, just the first two episodes.
Yeah. I will say positive things about those first two episodes, though. At the as we're going through the original Inazuman review, the main character, who we might know from Kikaider and the second Battle Cossack, same actor who played all of that. This show has an opening. It sure does. I got nothing. Not gonna lie, this is not gonna be a long review. I'm gonna be straight up gonna tell you I thought that you were gonna watch the show forever. Because it sure did feel like it.
It's only 25 episodes, but...
It felt like 84. It felt like 84 repetition. And I'm not just talking about in repetition of this show proper. It feels like repetition of Kikaider, and it feels like repetition of 71 after Commander Ichigo leaves.
You texted me that earlier this week, and I was like, there is one thing that makes it stand out from them, but even that wears thin so quickly.
What is that one thing?
It is the playground logic by which this show operates on in the beginning.
It happens throughout the rest of the show, too, a lot.
They tone it way down after the first episode. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely still there. But...
reverse.
But when a villain calls his attack and is like, extreme pillar of fire, blah, and blasts a fire blast at our hero, and he says, reverse extreme pillar of fire, and blasts it back at the villain, causing him to explode, it doesn't quite get to that level of just the power of nuh-uh.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Everything proof shield.
It doesn't get, to Gold Experience Requiem levels, but it gets close.
That's what I wanted to bring up. That is what I wanted to bring up. That is exactly what I wanted to bring up because that's what Inazuman is. For those unfamiliar, part 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the evolved form of the main character's stand at the end of the show, Gold Experience Requiem, the way it reducing probabilities and percentages and laws of reality to zero.
Basically, no.
It's the power of no.
And then you die for
Oh, you shot me. Floomp, nope. Reduced it to zero, didn't happen. It's the equivalent of... He has Control Z. He has Control Z powers, essentially.
And then you die forever.
And then you die forever. You die forever. Oh, what's that? You blew up a skyscraper? No, you didn't. I'm going to throw a chain around it and pull it right back.
There's a reason why Giorno's not in part 6. He was there, but he wasn't there.
Because I feel like he could have solved all this.
Yeah, Pucci would have died immediately. But yeah, this show,
It's almost like they realized they wrote him too powerful.
They wrote him too powerful. The supporting cast, his friend...
That's another thing that almost immediately goes by the wayside, is the Youth League.
Yeah, they get...
So in this show we have our, instead of a Sentai or something like that, our organization designed to fight the evil empire is a group of kids.
It's basically the Ultraman team, but little.
Or the Rider Scouts.
Yeah, that's what made me keep all right, I watched this show.
Yeah.
And the comedic best friend.
Yeah.
I'm just why are you here?
With his big beard.
Yeah.
Big bushy beard.
It's just, I was really...
All of whom are... Everyone's ambiguously aged.
Ambiguously aged.
Because they're all supposed to be in college, but his friend walks around wearing a high school uniform the entire time. I don't know if those uniforms were also used in university back then. It's possible. I don't know, but I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And it looks like they filmed certain things at a high school when he's out there playing soccer, but even that's something that gets abandoned immediately. Because it's once again a hero who has no life outside of fighting evil. All I do is exist to fight evil. We almost never see him in civilian clothes after the first episode because he's in there wearing his youth league uniform. They're out there.
That uniform is god ugly.
They're all stupid, yeah.
God, they're ugly.
Also, your plan before Inazuman became Inazuman with his mutant powers was to
good luck.
Was to have children run about the world in brightly colored orange outfits and throw like firecrackers at bad guys.
That was their plan.
That was your plan? This is how you were going to stop the evil empire?
The best plan that they had.
With children... Oh, God.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh
boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Also...
to anyone who doesn't know what he's talking... Okay, here's what I want you to do. Pause this video. Open up the first episode if you haven't watched it yet. It is on YouTube. Skip to the part... There's a scene where the main character, Inazuman, he's drinking from a water fountain after playing soccer. During that scene, the main villain is like taunting him through a mirror... And he does his little catchphrase thing. Close your eyes, listen to the dialogue, and tell me it doesn't sound like he's saying, oh boy, 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 oh boy.
I get so confused by so many things in this show, because half of them are just like, why?
Go on.
I don't get the point of Tsunagiman.
Is this the first time we've ever seen a form change?
Yes.
A noble effort.
Yeah, I don't get the point of it.
It's interesting from a historical standpoint to look back and see like, oh, this is where our first form change happened, but yeah, in this show it sucks.
Yeah, it's just like Tsunagi. I think it's supposed to be like caterpillar.
It's the pupa stage that then because like if you can imagine him in his human form is the caterpillar, Tsunagiman is the pupal stage, and then we have the butterfly, which is Inazuman.
Yeah. Speaking of which, not a big fan of that suit. I'm a much bigger fan of the Forza version of this suit.
I do like the Inazuman suit.
It's just too bulky at the top for me.
I can see that, but I think it works. He does look very different from any other hero that was appearing around this time. Just the bright blues with accents of red and yellow. I do think the suit works.
I'm just a bigger fan of it because I saw the Forza one first, and the fact that
the Forza one, if I'm not mistaken, is more of like a
sleek.
It's like a sleek costume where like his skin kind of looks like an exoskeleton.
Yeah,
it's like one solid piece.
Yeah, and it looks cool. So I'm a much bigger fan of it there. This show, something about Inazuman, specifically Inazuman, especially because it doesn't end. It has a season 2 with Inazuman F.
No, because it ends with it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Which would then lead us into Inazuman Flash, and because the main bad guy, holding his hand like this ever presently, blah blah blah. I'm Dracula. Bela Lugosi died, and they put me in here instead. Whatever it is, and he grows giant, goes out to the middle of the ocean, explodes. They cut to a stock footage of a nuke blowing up, and then all of a sudden, another bad guy who was just recently introduced shows up, and he's like, "Aha, Inazuman! You thought this was the end, but it isn't, because here's the villain for the next season. Hey, round of applause, everybody!" And it's actually kind of a cool ending.
Yeah,
where he's just flanked by with seemingly hundreds of minions. And the main villain reveals himself, and he's wearing it kind of looks like an SS uniform with like a Phantom of the Opera mask covering like almost all of his face. Very
Nazi hate back then, and I'm very approving of that because they've stuck with it. I think the thing about this is the fact that the first 2 episodes of Inazuman F, I was a lot more invested in those 2 episodes than I was in the 25 of Inazuman.
Yeah.
They introduced one new character who's an Interpol agent who's more or less searching for his family throughout the entire show, from what I've understood by looking through the wiki. Goro leaves the youth league. His best friend is gone. The kids are gone. Thank God. And he basically ends up becoming an Interpol agent. So he's like out there in regular clothes the entire time and doing a lot more surveillance, espionage, and things of that nature. And the villains are really, for these first 2 episodes, they're a lot more threatening. There seems a lot more interpersonal fighting in that group, where like they will backstab each other. This is in 2 episodes, by the way. They will backstab each other. The main bad guy will just kill one of them if they did a terrible job. I'm sitting here like, this is the show that I want to watch. And there is a raw of it, so it's obviously available to be subbed. I'm just sort of surprised that it hasn't been done yet, when it's so much more investment in that show than you get from Inazuman regular. It's just like, the show feels like everything I'd seen before. And I think from those first 2 episodes of Inazuman F, this is weird because they're doing the sequel thing. Inazuman F feels like sort of what V3 felt to me, but without the writer scouts. V3 is like, I think this is one of those things that we sort of missed in the first season of Rider. It's just like we don't get to see that growth for the characters. So we get to see like V3 practicing and, you know, getting new skills from his 93,000 skills that he gets throughout the show. And, he just gets better over time. And he comes out in front of trains, and that's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He got thrown somewhere. He just comes out in front of the train, and I was like, I clapped. But Inazuman to Inazuman F, it almost feels like, okay, this show is juvenile as hell. Let's age it up.
The show does feel very that, from the kid protagonist to the way every storyline is the same from episode to episode. The fact that there doesn't ever seem to be any consequences despite all the destruction that happens.
And death.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this is the thing in the show era in general. People just die.
Yeah, there's a body count for sure, but no one ever seems to be bothered by it.
It's like, Anata! Anyway.
Anyway, what's for lunch?
It's Anata! He's for lunch!
Oh, dear.
But yeah, there's just like something about this. I will say he was a much better character in this than he was in Kikaider. But that's not saying much.
But that you're referring to the actor.
Yeah. I feel like they wrote him a little bit better, even in Inazuman regular, like, nevertheless, F. And it's weird. I think the reason that Inazuman regular got subbed first is because it was airing in Hawaii in the 70s. And there's some licensing issue with F. So that hasn't been done yet, at least as far as I know, as far as I was able to do per research on my own. But yeah, I can't recommend the first season.
Neither can I.
Yeah, I would honestly just watch the second season. Like, yeah, you can watch the first 2 episodes on YouTube. And then watch the rest.
I would honestly recommend watching the first one because it is kind of funny.
Yeah, but it wears.
Well, like I said, just the first episode. That's we didn't even mention this yet. Yeah, his there's a specific name for it. It's like, the vocal foley that you do in martial arts when you exert yourself. It's the word chest.
Not chest, though. Not chestnut. Not chestnut. The Pokemon. But chest.
No, it's chest. You brought it up. You brought it up when we watched the first episode together. It sounds like Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Chest.
Show me your chest. And then you lose
Come on, chest.
It got real annoying, real fast.
He says it so much.
It's all he says.
He's fighting, and it's like, I jump, chest. I throw someone, chest.
He more or less became nonverbal after he transforms. I have to defeat him, but chest. Show, man, that show is just wild. I didn't enjoy it.
Neither did I. It's boring. It's repetitive. The one unique selling point that it had wears out almost immediately. The monsters look really dumb.
That's sort of the issue with the 70s, though. Those early 70s, late 60s monsters from Ultraman. It's just like,
It doesn't change the fact that I still think they look dumb.
They do.
Godzilla came out in 1954. That old movie still looks great.
We're going to do a video once we do, because I believe we have a few more of these Showa era stuff to do.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to talk about the Showa era as a whole, and that stark transformation about midway through the 80s. So, yeah. I really want to talk about the copycat. This feels like Hanna-Barbera. Like those early Hanna-Barbera shows are just like we had the Flintstones and the Jetsons and the Cavemen and then everybody was in Wacky Races.
And then everybody was in Wacky Races.
And those the Scooby-Doo clones, Jabberjaw.
Oh god, Jabberjaw, dude.
This feels like a lot of those clones.
Yeah.
From
it's like, well, we had people solving mysteries with a dog. What if they solved mysteries with a shark? Or what if they...
The fact that we both just said 2 different things even makes my point even funnier. A car and a shark.
A shark. What if it was Josie and the Pussycats?
To be fair, though, that show was the moment.
Not saying it's bad. I'm just...
I love the crossovers. that they had with the Scooby-Doo gang.
Well, there were
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Was it better than the crossover Scooby-Doo had with Johnny Bravo?
But it wasn't as good as crossovers that Scooby-Doo had with the Globetrotters.
Dude, I remember that one.
Or Batman and Robin.
Or Batman and Robin, or Don Knotts, or...
That was the...
or Dick Van Dyke.
God, the New Adventures were so good. Anyway, yeah, Inazuman was just like a thing. It was clone number 3. So, to me anyway.
It's like it was made in a lab.
Literally.
A bunch of men in coats going, has the formula been perfected yet?
No.
Duh.
We got about another 12 years for that.
Back to formula.
But yeah, let us know what you think of Inazuman in the comments below.
Please do.
Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Are you looking forward to our next review, which is...
I'm so excited. We finally get to do Dynaman.
We're doing Dynaman.
I'm so excited.
Welcome to Explosions, everybody.
I am so unbelievably excited. One, because I don't know what it is, but something about Sentai is just easier to watch. I think it's because of the fact that you have 5 people to follow, so each episode doesn't have to feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Except to the end, where the mech fight happens, and it feels the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget to join us on things, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.